Should be there. It's not there now. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, because you're muted in here.
Oh, it wouldn't mute over there. Okay, I got you.
I didn't hear any sound.
There was B2. Okay.
There wasn't any sound for me. There might have been for them out there. Maybe they'll know. Hey, is there any sound now, y'all?
They might not have sound now. They might not have anything. So
can you hear me?
Let us know. Hey, really cool. Just to start things off. Hey, Debi Davis. Debbie, say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody. I'm so happy to be here with Michael and Heather. It feels like old home week.
And Heather, say hi to everybody. Anyway,
I'm glad to be live again for a little bit, if they can hear us anyway. Oh, yes, right. Yes, they can hear us. Thank you, Eileen.
All right. Couple cool things. This is awesome. Here's a new ticker that
check it out.
Isn't that awesome? You're allowed to put tickers now onto StreamYard. Tell me that's not flipping cool. I love it.
So one more thing to annoy the audience. Awesome. I love
That's right. And I can switch from ticker to ticker. So you saw me do the other one too. Remember, hey, you can join the Tinker and Tech community. Link will be in the description.
Hey, check this. I got to put this up right now. Gotta put this
Check
up.
It out.
Look at that.
There she is with her elephant friends.
Way too cool though. Isn't that? See how it also, that's another feature where it pushes so Debbie's face is not completely covered. So.
I love that. So we do this. Eileen. Hello, Eileen.
No,
there's
awesome.
Richard. I'm going to take it away. Oh my gosh. All the moving is so awesome. Check it out.
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
I just love look, that. It's snowing in Arizona. That's what she said.
That's right.
I added the Arizona part. But.
That's what LOL translates into.
Oh,
look
my
at that.
babe. Love you, babe.
Love you back. Love you back.
So awesome. I didn't get to see her like you guys got to see her.
Yeah, that's too bad.
You know what's cool in StreamYard too? A new feature that they have. So on Facebook, she put a little heart. It shows up in the top for us as the host and everything. It shows up there that she sent a heart or a like or anything like that.
I see. So guys, heart, like do the likey heart thingy so I can see it change up here, please.
And do thumbs up in YouTube. I think it does that too. I think it shows up there too. That's so cool. And look, we got people. Okay, so I got somebody over on Twitch. I love this. You can see on Facebook, and then I got people on YouTube. Way too cool.
Twitch. Look at that. And I love that it has Andrew's face on there. That's all. I mean, formerly known as Andrew. Eileen over there on YouTube, which is really cool. What she's saying here. It looks better with the minimal theme. It does, but then you can't see those awesome faces, you see.
That's true. And Eileen, I tell you something.
Jules is there too.
Yep, I see Jules. Eileen, you need to do your shows when I can watch. So you need to find out my schedule.
Right. Eileen, listen. It's like 3:00 in the morning here when you go live.
I so love watching her stuff. I love watching. She's going to Twitch. There you go. I love watching your stuff. The only problem is, it's like Heather said, I have to get up before the dogs get up.
Well, and I used to catch it like she would go live, and then I'd wake up an hour later, which is still ridiculously early here, just so you know. And then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch this, and then I'd leave her a comment. Well, they took that away. We can't comment on Twitch on videos anymore. So she doesn't even know that I've been watching her replays because I can't leave her a message. So how would she know?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So Eileen wants to know, where is Andy? So Andy is over here on YouTube. It's Roy who's over there. See, he just likes to play in his sandbox. That's the way that works.
Those that remember Sybil.
Yeah.
The multiple personalities. That's Andrew right there, you know? So
too cool.
You know what's really cool too?
One thing I love how it does that.
I know.
That's the one thing we were really bummed out about, it covering up our guests when we had 3 people in.
I know. So like right here, join on Twitch and YouTube, Facebook maybe. That's usually the way it goes for me. One thing that's really cool is I can change that same text. I can turn it into a ticker and turn that on. Now that same message is a
run
ticker
through
going
at
at the
the
bottom.
bottom.
Isn't
That's
that
pretty
cool?
awesome.
I love that. I think it's so cool.
That's
They're really
pretty
doing some
awesome.
good stuff. They're doing some good stuff.
Seriously, hats off to StreamYard. The guys, Gage and Dan,
yeah,
and the whole team that they've got working on over there. They are good at listening to our needs and the things that
agreed.
we're asking for. And I mean, they don't do everything, and they certainly don't do everything right off the bat. But look at all that they've done in this last release. That's pretty awesome. There's a bunch of behind the scenes stuff too that you can't see unless you're actually producing a stream.
Right.
And then you've got like check marks and which one's out there, and you can schedule, and all this stuff is so cool. And it little green check marks to let you know everything has gone live and you are good to go. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
pretty cool.
Hey, you know what? We have a guest.
We should probably talk to her about stuff.
Well, you guys, my head spins when I hear you talk about all this stuff because, of course, while you were in town at the beginning or the middle of November, we talked about the StreamYard thing, and I got my StreamYard stuff going only from my mobile phone, though, my cell phone, and haven't quite mastered that. Most of the time, I get some sort of an error message that is telling me StreamYard's down, or I don't know what it was. It's like, okay, well, so much for that plan. So I haven't really gotten to use it because I have to remember the sequence of steps, you know, and also because I'm using it with my Kimball.
Oh,
Gimbal.
My gimbal, damn it. My gimbal. Sorry, Mom. Mom is going to watch this. My gimbal.
She was really hoping that she would get that right.
And then, you know, with the gimbal, then there's like the option of using your gimbal with the Snope app, which allows you to do a lot more cool things with the video. And then there's StreamYard. And then it's like, okay, what one do I start first? And how do I do all this without dropping the phone? So
I know exactly what you're saying. But I will say this, though, after seeing the results, after you using it, that was pretty fantastic. If you follow Debbie over on Facebook, and in the description, you'll see all the places you can find Debbie. But anyway, over there on Facebook, that was pretty awesome with the skiing trip.
Well,
I
had that in the back of the car. And so halfway through the day, I said, okay, I think I'm ready to take the gimbal out. Gimbal, right? Gimbal.
It is. You got it. Gimbal.
The Adam
you
gimbal.
could be like Richard, and you could call it a thimble.
Or a thimble. There we go.
That would not hold your phone. You're right.
No. So I go get it, and then I've got my phone and the gimbal and ski poles, and I'm on skis. And I'm thinking, okay, how am I going to do all this? So fortunately,
for disaster,
I was wearing a coat that I could that had a belt on it. So I put the gimbal inside the coat because it wouldn't fit in my pockets. So I put that inside and I should have taken the tripod off it. I didn't think about it. I should have taken the little legs off the bottom of it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that fit into my coat. And then I, go up there, and then I thought, okay, now I have to put the phone in it, and I have to get all the settings right. I better take a warm-up run while it's in my coat just to make sure I can handle all that, So I did. And what do? I biffed it on the way down.
Oh,
I fell forward, boom, with it in my coat.
Oh, wow.
And there was like, okay, well, that's going to leave a mark.
So fortunately, that was only about 20 inches because you're not that tall. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. I had to get that in.
I know.
Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
So I get to the bottom of the hill, and I was like, maybe I'm not ready to, but nonetheless, I get to the top of the hill again, take the lift up again, and I decided I'm going to put the phone in, and I'm going to get it set, and everything worked. I mean, I had all the balancing stuff, because if you don't have all three of your connections, I should probably pull it out, right? And just because I'm doing this and people are like, what is she talking about? But
imaginary. Remember.
Yeah. Hang on one second. I'm just going to unplug a second.
You're fine. Go ahead. Yeah, no problem.
That's all right. Then we can cover a couple of these. So here, Eileen wanted to know, do you ever use Streamlab alerts? Coach
I do,
Diesel
actually.
Is Michael, by the way, over on Twitch. So
I actually do. Yes, I bring the Streamlab alerts, so it brings them right into because I use OBS. That's how I got the snow background. So when somebody sends me a super chat or sends me bits or something like that, it comes up. It's supposed to come up, and gives me the.
Feel free to test it right now. Anyone who wants to actually do like a.
I don't think I can get bits because I'm not affiliated though.
No, not you can't do it on Twitch, but on YouTube you do have have the
super
whatever
chat.
they're called, super chats. Thank you, and super stickers. So
Mm-hmm.
people are welcome to do that anytime and test it and see.
Yeah, they got like $1.99 stickers and stuff like that. It's kind of fun. Yeah.
Andrew replied to you falling down on it in your pocket as zing.
Yeah. Well, it was in a like right underneath my rib cage.
Were you on the bunny hill? Listen, look at Richard. Were you on the bunny?
Were you on the bunny hill, Debbie?
No, actually, I was not.
That's where I would be.
Oh my gosh, this is new to me.
Look at that.
Look at that. Ooh. And I can put it up on screen.
Yes, you can.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know they did that.
Yeah, that's what StreamYard has added that function where it actually makes the color.
That makes me so happy.
I'm telling you. They've really put a lot of thought and a lot of effort.
Oh, seriously. Hats off to StreamYard big time. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and do this.
Put their
right
duck
now.
There you go.
Hey, how dare we have the same idea at the same time?
No, I was just about to do it. I was like, dang it. Okay.
Oh man.
Anyway, go ahead, Debbie. Keep talking. I'm sorry.
So where was I? So, anyways, what I didn't realize, and of course, when your hands are cold and you got like I got my mittens under my arm and I'm hanging onto the ski poles under this arm, and then I'm flipping this thing up and you got to unbelt, and I'm doing this, and I didn't have this all loose like this. And as soon as I turned it on, there's another one.
Look at that.
Oh, how nice.
That was awesome. Thank you, Eileen. You're awesome.
Thank you, Eileen.
Person. Absolutely.
But when you aren't set up, and have everything loose like this, and you turn it on with your phone in there, it starts buzzing at you. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh no, now what? I'm going to break the thing. So I put it away. And then I decided to try it again later. And I realized I just did not have one of my balancers.
Exactly.
Because the whole thing is that the gimbal.
Yes, the gimbal.
Good job. Gimbal.
Got it.
Gimbal, like Google.
You have to take a drink. You have to take a drink every time Debbie gets it right.
So anyways, but once I got that going, and then I turned it on, and I was just like, I was going for it. And I don't know if you heard at the beginning of the video, but my friend was saying, all right, now be careful with that thing and don't be looking in the camera, watch where you're skiing, which is
so cool.
It's really hard. It's kind of like when you're driving, you want to look at, and you're texting. Don't do that ever.
Right.
When you're skiing, don't be looking in your phone. I don't care what you're doing with it. So I was just holding it, and I said, I'm just going to hope for the best. And I held it out there. And what's amazing, though, is the wind. So I would like to figure out if I had stuck a microphone plug in there and had the microphone in my coat, maybe.
Yes, that might have been a little bit better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they actually have a microphone that you can have on there with a, what do they call that? A dead cat?
A dead cat.
With a dead cat on there, that you can do that as well. Right there. So you can pick up the sounds, but breaks up the wind or whatever. So either way, you could have done that. Yeah,
because the wind was really loud.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
What you got, Heather?
All right. So we got some folks joining us. Net friending with April and Roy are out there. I love this comment from them. StreamYard is the best. Gage and Dan are so accommodating. Totally agree with that.
True.
Russ also wanted to make sure you knew, Debbie, that you did a great job with your new toy. That gimbal.
You really did.
You made it look real easy. You really made it look easy.
I know, that's what my wife kept saying.
I really wish you would have actually shown us the part where you biffed it, but that's okay.
You can have the camera on next time, though, because the next time what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my friend to hold it and I thought that, I would have it looking at me. I don't know. I want to try a lot more things.
Pass it like a baton. That's what you need to do. And see how that goes.
Right.
That would be fun. That'd be perfect.
Okay, so we're talking about all these new things. Hold on. We're talking about all these new things. I want to brag about something that I got since last time I saw y'all.
What is it?
I have the Google Wi-Fi mesh Wi-Fi. I have the mesh Wi-Fi.
The router.
And so yeah. So I have a router and I have a point. And if you may have heard this before, I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I live at my grandmother's property in a casita. It's its own separate building in the back of the property. So I'm away from the Wi-Fi by like a whole house. Like there's a whole house space in between her house and my apartment thing. And we have the Wi-Fi router in her house in the corner, and then I have the little puck right here in the window, and it's picking it up. And that's all I'm using for my Wi-Fi. No hotspot on my phone anymore, which is what I've been using.
That's great.
Isn't that amazing? It is so awesome.
I can attest to that too. Exact same thing. I'll just add on to that because let me tell you what, I did it at my house. And I did the exact same thing. I put one upstairs and then I put one in the furthest end of that upstairs in my bedroom and so I'm gonna tell you what, I've done some live tips on our show where on our community where we do the live tips every day. I'm gonna tell you what, it's incredible. I mean, I'm using it from my mobile phone and has access. My mom, I did it for my mom. I got it for her for Christmas. She has it now extended to where she can be outside. So it's exactly like what you're talking about, a house distance away. That's
and what's really funny is I used to lose, like, we had two separate Wi-Fis. We had the Wi-Fi up there and we would grab it and then pull it in with a router that we had. And then we'd have a Wi-Fi in here and they were totally separated that way. Well, now I go from this space here, walk through the yard, go up to her house, and I never lose connection on my Wi-Fi. So my phone doesn't flip out. I don't lose anything. It's so cool. And there's a bunch of other stuff too that we'll talk about on another show, but I just wanted to share, since we're sharing all of our tech stuff, I wanted to share my
really. It's like Christmas around here.
Yeah,
it is.
Kind of
it is, isn't it? Really.
So Eileen did ask, can we put up a picture so I can see the Google
I'm doing
Maps?
it right now. I'm going.
Are you? Okay.
Before you did that, I was trying to get it up so we could have it.
Okay,
right there.
sorry.
Yeah. No, that's all right.
All right.
I mean, I will. I'll put it
I'm
on
gonna
there.
go through these. So that's cool. Richard said he made a comment about how good your did.
Yeah, he did. He posted it on my Facebook. Yep. Yeah, and I guess that's the whole point of the gimbal is no shaking. It floats. It floats your camera.
Cool. Right. And it really does. I mean, it was such smooth transitions. I don't know if that's a public video that you have on your Facebook page or your Facebook.
I think I did put it on my public on my Facebook page and my profile. Yeah.
Whoop, I just got rid of my.
That's all right. Yeah. That's what the pucks look like, and it kind of shows you up underneath.
Mine looks different than that, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
You can directly.
The new one looks different than that.
Yeah.
Can you steal your neighbor's internet that way?
No, it's totally password protected. It's completely safe. It's really awesome.
It's incredible.
It looks kind of cool too.
Yeah, it's neat because it's just this little. I mean, I could pick it up, I guess, and show it to you, but it's just this little snowball looking thing. And it works with the Google Home Assistant stuff. So I could actually say the keywords. Hey, we say G when we're testing. Hey, G. And then say, good morning. And it'll go through a routine that I've set up and it will actually play music afterwards because that's how I have it set up. So I can have music playing throughout my house and it'll play here.
Nice.
It'll play in the speaker. It'll play up at Grandma's house too. If I wanted to, I can broadcast to her right now and say, hey, Graham, we're ready for dinner. Would you like to eat with us? And she would hear it. That would come through. And then here's the really cool thing. She used her Hub Max to actually call me today. She said keywords, hey G, call Heather, and it duo called me. And she was able to do it. And remember, she's 96, so that was pretty awesome.
That is so cool.
Awesome. It is pretty awesome. That's fantastic. Do you let me ask you this though. Do you have any do you use it like so on the new ones, does each point have the ability to speak like a normal, okay, so it's like a mini built into the Wi-Fi.
The router does not have any of the assistant stuff,
but the
point does. The point is like a speaker and a Wi-Fi connector connected to each other. They're like in the same device. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Okay, so yeah, so that's so you do have it on the other two, but not the router part of it. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, the router doesn't have any speaker capabilities.
And you just got 2 points, right? You did not do the 3 points where you can do
1 point.
1 point and one.
We have
router.
one router. We have one router in the house, and then 1 point came out here, and that's plenty.
That's so cool.
That kind of solves your problems, doesn't it? I mean,
all of them so far. I mean, this was a really big test because I wasn't sure how the Wi-Fi was going to go because we haven't tested it at all.
Yeah.
So, oh, here's the cool thing that you can do with Google Wi-Fi. Yep, that's what it looks like right there.
Yeah,
with Google Wi-Fi, you control whether, like, you can actually set it up so your kids are on a certain little box, and you can pause their stuff whenever you don't want them to use it. So, hey guys, I said it's bedtime, get off, and you're done.
Yes, that's so cool.
But you can also do something like I did right now because I want all of the bandwidth I possibly can. I set my laptop as priority. So everything else is still connected. They can all still surf the web and do what they're doing, but I'm the priority user right now. And I set it up for 2 hours. So after 2 hours, I'll go back to not being the priority user anymore. If I forget, it's no big deal. It's automatic.
Oh, that's really nice.
It's pretty cool.
How long have you had that set up?
It's been a few days, just like 4 or 5 days now since we actually installed it. But yeah, and that's the cool thing. So, and you can turn, for those of you who are worried about, like, you know, the G is listening or whatever, that little orange button right there is actually to turn the mic off. So it doesn't have to listen to you if you don't want it to. You physically turn off the microphone like that.
I would recommend this to anyone because I'm going to tell you right now. I know I understand the paranoia and all that kind of stuff. I get it, but if people want to know about you, they probably already know about you. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, and it's really weird what I originally thought of this stuff. I was like, I don't want anything like that listening to me, but it doesn't really listen like that, like I thought it did. But
probably does.
But like I said, though, you can shut that stuff off. So if you are not into any of the Google Assistant thing, you don't have to have it on. If you just want the Wi-Fi to work better. And what's really cool, I didn't want to turn this into a Google Wi-Fi commercial, but
I know.
But
that's right.
We
talk tech. So
yeah.
With tech.
But one of the things I thought was really cool was that when we first set it up, we had it sitting over on this side. I know you guys can't see what I'm pointing at, but it was over here in the room. Okay?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right,
Where the hell are you talking about?
and because we just plugged it in and we're setting it up, and we just wanted to see what it would be like if, you know, if it did it like light up, did it talk to you? We didn't know what it did, so we just put it on over here right away on the app, on the home app, because that's how you control everything, is through the home app on your phone or tablet. And it says it has like a yellow light, and it says your Wi-Fi could improve. So we moved it over to here, and it turned green, and it was like, you are now in the perfect spot. I mean, it was so that easy. It was amazing. But
yeah,
fun stuff. Hey, Michael, you know what? One thing that I did discover when I was, remember when we were using this and I still had my Galaxy before my Pixels showed up in the mail?
Yes.
Well, now that I have the Pixel, I don't have to take it out of the case. It fits in this. My other one, I had to take it out of the case. It was so bulky. And
Amen.
And this, and I didn't even realize it until I went skiing that day, and I just snapped it in there, and then took all my video. I took it down. And I was like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't even take that out of the case, and it fit right into this little clamp.
And the other thing is cool, and you're absolutely right. And the thing that's cool about that, let me just say, I use this is a case by Moment Lens, so I can put a big fancy lens. I screw that lens right into this part where the camera is. So this case fits in there as well. It's a protective case, but you can see the word Moment somewhere. I mean, there.
Yep, I see it
right there.
That is, I'm going to tell you what, that is a huge deal because I can put this in there and put my lens on that gimbal so I can get wide angle, I can get fisheye, I can get all that stuff. I'm telling you, it's awesome. It is.
This is like the Ellen and Oprah version of my favorite things. Only we're not giving anything away, everyone.
Sorry about that.
That's not happening. But here's a great question from NetFriend. So this is April, right? That's what you said. Yes. This is April. Okay. April wants to know if we can drop the link. I think she's talking about a Tinkering with Tech group, which is those of you who are members. We appreciate all of you. And there is a link. You're watching on YouTube. There's a link in the description to follow, and it's all right there to join. And if you do join, I will look for it. Send us a message that you joined so that way we can get you the link to come in and be with us. So it's not automatic. We do it all. All manually.
That's exactly right. Let me explain a little bit about that too. It is a paid for group, $10. Just do it for this month. I'm telling you what. I'm going over Zoom. We're doing a workshop this Saturday on Zoom. A lot of people that want to learn about Zoom, join for just this month. Pay the $10, join for this month, and you can drop off anytime you want. I'm going to tell you what, this workshop this Saturday should be a good one because we're going to go over all of the things and go over the things that Zoom can do in a meeting and that kind of stuff. April, I think that's the group you're talking about. Only other thing I could tell you is maybe you were thinking of user to user because I did when I first saw her.
User to user too, yeah.
I first saw her and met her. I mean, I may have been talking about that one, and that's not paid for. But $10. What Heather and I do with the $10, we buy Zoom, we buy StreamYard, we buy stuff like that. The tools that we're using, we buy that stuff with that. It's not like we're making money. That's not what our goal is. I mean, that's not what we're trying to do. Trust me. I mean, we split it. And then what we do is we say, okay, let's just go ahead and buy StreamYard. Okay, let's buy this. Let's go ahead and use these tools.
Things that people have asked us about utilizing, so that way we can figure out how it works and then share that information with you guys.
That is exactly what we do. I mean, that in essence, that is what we do. So
we had some comments here, so I wanted to get to some of those. Russ is asking, can you assign to one to a specific device? So this is about the Wi-Fi mesh. I think we need to do a show on the Wi-Fi mesh. That's what we need to do. But
apparently,
yeah.
We do.
I would love to do a show on it because I absolutely love it. But the way that it works is a little bit. You don't assign anything to one point or the other. I'll have to explain that in a show. So let's plan on doing that. Let's plan on talking about the Wi-Fi mesh in one of our.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
That'd be cool.
And we're talking today. So anytime we talk.
This will be a part of that conversation too, is that using that Google Hub Max, really awesome device. That's how Grandma called me on my phone. It was really awesome. So we'll go over all that stuff, Russ. Pretty cool. And I like what Andrew says here. If it can't listen, it won't hear the keyword. And then what good is that? Exactly. All right. So Debbie, how much was the gimbal?
Oh yeah.
I think I paid $129 for it.
And that was through Amazon, right?
Through Amazon, yep. Yeah. And I remember.
I really need affiliate. I'm sorry.
I know.
I remember Michael needs affiliate.
When I was researching, and I didn't know it was called the Atom. I was just searching on the keyword gimbal, and I saw something that was maybe $89 or $99 or something. But
and that wasn't the right one?
It wasn't the right one. And then after I saw what Michael was showing us and I looked at the Atom and it was more expensive. But even in the comments on that, people said it's worth the extra money for the extra features that you get with it. And it really, I mean, it just.
Michael did.
Put Eileen's other comment up there. I love that. Put her other.
Well, I'm getting there. Michael did do a show on that Atom gimbal. We did do a Tinkering with Tech on it, and we put a link to the device in there as well. So we'll have to find that. But I love this because I was saying it's like the Ellen and Oprah show, favorite show. Yeah, you get a car and you get a car. Unfortunately, you do not get a car. I apologize for that.
No, I'll buy a bunch of matchboxes. I'll send them out. I don't mind.
That's what we do. Yeah. That's what we do with your Tinkering with Tech money. So yes,
we take care of our members.
April said, yes, the Tinkering with Tech group was the right group. So everybody's getting a car. Join the Tinkering with Tech group and you get a car. I'll handle the postage. That'll be on me.
I will say this. I need to recognize a couple people just because of that in our group. One thing is really nice, and it does, and I use this whenever you guys send super chats. Okay. I know Richard has sent some great super chats. Richard's one of our members. There you go.
Join, just so you know.
And I'm just letting you know. I mean, he's something else. I mean, he is such a supporter. I know Russ has given a lot. I mean, Pat has given a lot. Andrew gives a lot. I just got a gift from Andrew.
Oh, can I put this up? I know you're saying all the thank yous, but there's a thank you for you. Michael, you're such a wealth of information and such a nice guy. I would love to learn more from you. So whatever that looks like, I want to be a part of it. And you know what? That's the thing right there. I think that's how we all feel. I know that's how it is for me. I'm like, what are you doing? Because I'll do it. I guess I'll do this tech show thing with you. I'm not very techy, but I'll do it.
Well, that's awesome of you to say. I just like helping people. That's the whole reason that I got into this kind of stuff. And a few of my friends said to me, they said, you know what, you need to start charging. And so to me, it's not about the money. It's about giving that money back. And that's what I'm trying to do. So any Tinkering with Tech video on our website, on our YouTube channel, any Tinkering with Tech video has how to sign up. If you go to the Tinkering with Tech public site, and hopefully Andrew will put that link in here because he always does that. Put that link in there. He'll show, and right on there is how to sign up. It's a form and it's a public site. So we'll do that. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right, so now I know we're getting sidetracked, so we're going to bring it all back because do you remember that we have a guest? I had forgotten.
I do that all the time.
Three awesome friends just hanging out, having a good time.
Hanging out.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So Debbie, there was something you wanted to share. Remember? Do you remember that there was something you really are totally on fire about right now? Do you remember?
Oh, my Google Tasks still?
Google Tasks. That's what it was. Lord have mercy. I feel like that was 4 hours ago. I don't even remember.
I know it. Yeah, I think the last time I was on your show, which I don't know, what was that, like a month ago or something?
I don't know, but my internet died that day, so let's not do that again.
That's right. I know it. But yeah, I've really mastered the Google Tasks, and they keep me so on, like, I don't forget anything. Everything that I need to do when I need to do it is right there in Google Tasks. And we talked about, various aspects of other Google apps, what did you call them? Reminders, Google Reminders. But with Google Tasks, what I'm finding out is that, I can put links in there. So Google Tasks are not collaborative. Other people cannot see my Google Tasks. But a lot of my work requires me to collaborate with other people. So I am able to put my Trello links, for example, in my Google Tasks. Trello is collaborative. Or I can put links to Google Docs and folders. And those are collaborative. So even though people aren't looking at my tasks, as soon as I click on the link in my task, I'm taken into a collaborative environment where it might be Trello, where I'm trying to coordinate a schedule or coordinate some sort of a project, or off out into the document where, again, there's more collaboration and comments are being left and that sort of thing. I just keep my Google Tasks as my home base for how Debbie needs to drive her life, And when I discovered it about mid-September, I think, and I can move so quickly. Talk about gaining time. We all have the same amount of time, 24 hours in a day. But when I'm using tasks, I feel like I'm actually doubling my time, the amount of time I have in a day, because I spend no time looking for stuff ever. Because I just go to my tasks. It's like, all right, I'm going to work on this client. What tasks do I need to get done? Everything I need is linked in those tasks, and I'm never looking for anything.
I tell you, and the last show you did was awesome, because one thing that you explained and showed was on task. It was incredible to me because you could see your accomplishments. you kept them. You know what I'm saying? Like when, just because you drop it off, it doesn't mean it goes away. You can see your accomplishments that way. And I love that.
Well,
so
and it was
one of the things, oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say that one of the things we talked about in the green room was how you use something or what you want to accomplish is where you start with what is the tool to go with, right? So there was a little conversation for those of you watching. There was a little conversation between what Debbie uses and what Michael uses, and they're both pretty firm on what they use. One uses tasks, one uses reminders, and their reasoning is firm, and that's fine. What I think is awesome is when you back up a step and go, what is it that I want to accomplish, and how do I want to accomplish it? There's where which one do I use comes in. Is that correct, Debbie?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And, Heather, I'm reminded about the video that you and I recorded. It's been 5 years ago. It's still like the home video on my YouTube channel, where I ask like 20 questions. What do you want to do then? Who needs to be involved? How are you going to get it to them? And we went through all these questions because we were trying to put together a plan. And you can't put together your plan or your process or your system until you really analyze how you get things done and why, what works for you. Because what works for you is not going to work for somebody else, and vice versa. So yeah, just analyzing your plan, your process for getting things done, why you're doing it and why you're doing it the way you do it. And then you figure out the tools that are going to work best.
Right. Well, and along those same lines, Russ is bringing up Trello, which I know you use and love as well. Collaboration is amazing. And Michael and I utilize Keep, which also has collaboration and everything. And again, it's about what it is that you want to accomplish and how you want to accomplish it.
Exactly.
That's where you find the tool that you need. And when you have an expert who utilizes it in multiple ways,
I love this.
Then you can listen to them.
I'm sorry, that comment was awesome. And they're right. That Merton and Russ use Trello. It's such a great organized way of an approach of going at what you're trying to get accomplished. And they do a great job with that.
Debbie does something really cool with Trello that I wish that we could show on screen. We're going to work on a way that we can show it because it's proprietary information. So we can't really show like that board, but she and I have talked about putting together a board that we can show you the process and how to utilize Trello in a way that it's
I'm just going to put Debbie on screen. You keep talking. I'm just going to put Debbie on screen. There should be like a halo.
Right. Debbie is amazing when it comes to processes. No,
you're just awesome that
Seriously.
way. The organization and the methodical way and all that. I know. I'm telling you. I'm just gonna keep you on screen. We'll talk in the background.
Welcome to the Debi Davis Show. Thank you everyone for joining. Debi Davis, a huge fan of Google Tasks and a lot of other organizational tools.
One of the things that you mentioned though is that you have to look at your processes and, before you start choosing your tools. The other thing I'm learning as I'm working with larger groups is you find out what those groups are comfortable doing, because the last thing you want to do is put together a system that people are resistant to using. And I've been encountering this where in one of the clients that I'm working with, we rely heavily on Google Docs, but we sometimes work with Andrew, I see as Debbie, the org queen. We use Google Docs, but if we're working with a client that won't use Google Docs, it blows our entire process out of the running. We can't do it. We cannot work with a client. So we have to have that as a parameter. And it's one of the first things when I'm talking about to a prospective client is that I tell them our process is our value proposition. And but it depends on Google. Do you have a problem using Google Docs? They're like, oh yeah, we're not allowed to use it. We can't really accept them as a client. I mean, it comes down to that.
I absolutely find that fascinating, that's where the conversation starts. Again, finding out what it is that you want to do, how you want to accomplish it, and then utilizing the tools properly and setting a standard saying, these are the tools that I'm going to use to do my business, and this is how I do my business. Come alongside me or find someone else.
That's right. And because if you have to keep on switching up your method for getting work done, you are no longer able to scale. And when you're working digitally, scaling is kind of like the holy grail. You want to be able to scale all of your efforts, but you can't if you're constantly switching methodologies. So, your target audience has to be somebody who is, willing to go along with that, or is already using those systems. And, when you're starting with Google, I mean, Google has such a broad market base already, then there's a pretty good chance that you're going to be able to access that market base because Google is everywhere. So
well, don't you find also like when you're switching systems or you're switching things and trying all these, you're working at something that's not productive. You're working at things that you're trying to set up, and that, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Did you say productive, Michael? That's like one of my favorite words.
I know. I just got to, okay, everybody take a drink. I said productive.
Yeah, if you're not being productive, I mean, you might as well be sitting in front of the TV eating bonbons,
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
At the minute you start realizing you're not being productive, that means you have to take a closer look at it and either fix that problem or just stop doing it because it costs you money.
Debbie, I don't want to take too much of your time. I know I want to leave some time for the community members to come into the backstage pass. I want to give that opportunity to them. But I do want to touch on. We'll touch on a couple more questions that we have out there. I know they were talking about the gimbal. One thing that I will say, and I think Eileen put up there with the one she thought it was, right? Isn't that what she did, Heather? I don't know.
Yes, she did. Yeah, it's the right one. It's the Snopa Atom, a pocket-sized 3-axis.
I suggest getting this little pouch along with it. I love this thing because
you have to keep checking back for that thing because I looked after you showed us and it was not available.
Oh,
so
really?
Keep your eyes open.
What's cool about this is you can put your Snopa in there and your phone. So if Debbie, you're on the mountain or whatever, that would have been ideal. You just unzip it, pull it out and put your phone on it.
Believe me, I thought about that because Mia got it, didn't she?
Russ.
Yeah.
Russ. Thank you so much, Russ. Bless you, sir. You are a kind gentleman. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. But yes, I'm telling you, I don't know if she got it or not, but
somebody had it because when we were all in my living room, all that stuff was spread out on on the table. And
but it's Pear Gear, P-E-R. I guess that's French, maybe. I don't know. P-E-R-G-E-A-R.
Pear Gear. It's like French for hamburger. But I just butchered French for you, Debbie. Sorry about that.
It's like a flask. It's like a flask, and I'm telling you,
every time he says flask, I'm like, I think he's using the wrong word, but that's okay.
Take a drink.
Take a drink.
No, that's awesome. And look, and share this out. I mean, seriously, we love doing this kind of stuff, and we love helping people. The more we share this out, I tried to find it. I can't find it. Let's see the thumbs up. Yeah. Share button. Share this to the world. Send this out. We really would like a lot of people to know about this because this is what we do. This is this kind of stuff. Having guests on like Debbie. Debbie, you're so awesome. Thank you so much for.
And every once in a while, we let the guests talk. Every once in a while.
It's
not
rare.
today.
It's
sorry,
rare.
Debbie.
It's rare. It's rare, but
It's
just because we're such great friends. That's all.
Yeah, we are just friends hanging out right now. So that's what's going on here.
Exactly.
There's a really great comment. Like that's a great segue into this comment. So April says, "I love that you all share the mechanical side, but that you dig deep into the mindset side of technology. It's always a pleasure turning into your shows." And that's my favorite part. Like I don't get so excited about the technology part of it, but I do love when it clicks. Like, oh, that's why I would do that. That when that happens, that's when I get excited. When Debbie says in the last one, well, tasks are more like a to-do list. Like you would use a to-do list as a task list. And I'm like, I mean, it was like a beam of light just shined down from the clouds and cleared everything up. So.
Well, and that's
where I get excited.
I know, and that's what I like about those kind of things too. There's more than one way to do things in any technology.
But find your way and stick with it.
Exactly.
Learn it. Make it your way. Yeah. Debbie taught me that a long time ago.
And that's so awesome. I think that's so great because you can mold and change it. But I also like what you said tonight. Seriously, I'm going to bring this back because it hit home with me. Is you keep working on it, keep working on it, keep working on it. You're working on the wrong thing. You know, you have goals. Why keep trying to change systems and work with that system? Work with that system. Get that system down and use that system for a length of time. I mean, that's what I got out of it. That was your point, I think, that you made there.
Right.
Stick with it. Go with it. Stick with it. And then if it needs tweaking or whatever over time, now let's try this because this might be better now for whatever we're doing or that task that we're doing at that time.
And what's really fun with some of the things like Trello. You know, Trello keeps developing. You guys were talking about how StreamYard, every time they put out an update, they've added new features. And so I used to use Trello a long, long time ago, and I found it a little bit limiting. Well, I jumped back into using Trello now this year again, back in June, and they have, you know, they've added all these features, and because they're hearing people who are using it and saying, we'd like it to be able to do this, or we'd like it to be able to, and guess what? Those developers and programmers actually listen, and then they make those improvements, and they start to, you know, evolve that product to meet the needs of the users. So, you know, it's really nice that you can have that kind of input on the tools that you're using. Yeah, I'm using several different kinds of tools that they listen to what I have to say.
Maybe you'll come back if we'll let you talk. No, maybe you'll come back and show us a little bit on Trello. Maybe you'll have some time. Maybe you and Heather could do a couple things.
Well, Heather and I definitely concocted a plan for that. Yeah. Wow, Richard.
Richard, how awesome. Because you deserve it and because I can do it. Richard, thank you so much. You are pretty freaking awesome, dude. I really do appreciate it. But look at there. There you go.
So
how awesome is that? That is awesome. Thank you very much. So listen, we're going to get into the backstage patch. I want to make sure I leave enough time so Debbie can talk to anybody that comes in, to any of the community members.
You know what? I won't even talk. I will let Debbie do it all.
You guys, come on. This is the engagement that works. Yeah.
That's what we do. Yeah, exactly. But no, seriously, I think that would be amazing if you came back. If you came back and did a show on something like that, or ever. that would be amazing. That would be amazing.
Yeah, Heather and I definitely had some ideas about particularly the Trello thing, because it's a powerful organizational tool.
And Heather, we'll put together something for the Wi-Fi thing. Let's put something together for that.
I think we should. Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah, and you know what? We might even bring on, I know we had him on before, Brett with Tech. I know that's what he does. He has some videos on it. Maybe we'll bring him in just so we can get the conversation going and keep that kind of thing. Thank you, everybody that comes and watches our shows and follows us and all that kind of stuff. We really do appreciate it. Anybody that watches this show afterward, feel free to join us by joining the community. In the community, I do a daily tip. I do a daily tip every day. We have this show right here, and then in the backstage pass, you get to come in and talk to whoever our guests are that day. And a lot of times we do a workshop, like this Saturday. This Saturday we are doing a workshop. We have a workshop on Zoom. So we're just going to talk about the features of Zoom and the things we can do. How Zoom can help you in many different ways. So please, anybody that watches this later, or if you guys share this out, and come on and join the community, even if it's just for this month. If it's $10 this month, whatever, come in and join it. And I think if you talk to any members that are a member, I think they get their $10 value out of it for sure. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody. Heather, Debbie, you guys are absolutely awesome.
Thanks for having me, you guys. This is
absolutely fun. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. So folks, I'm going to end the broadcast. And when I do, please, any community members, you know where to go to the community and click on the backstage pass, and you can come in and chat with us. Thank you again. Thank you so much. And we appreciate you. Debbie, you're awesome.
Thanks, you guys.